All right. Hello, hello. Today we're going to talk about ways that you can approach making a remix. So we're going to dive into a remix I recently did for a wonderful artist named Hollings, who asked me to do a remix of her song Bambole. So let's start by just listening first to her original track for a moment so that we can get a sense of what it sounds like and then where I took it from there.
The clouds are below you, but your mind is above. When you free your mind, all of the pieces come together in time. Bambole.
Okay, so amazing vocal, super yummy elements. And now let's dive into my Ableton session and take a look at what I did with this song. So the first thing that I do when I go into starting a remix is I look at what elements of the original song really grab me and hook me. And then how can I start with those and create a new world around them? So for me, obviously her vocal and the part of the vocal that was bambole, right? That line. And so what I wanted to create was something that would hit on the dance floor. So the idea of a remix is to recreate an essence of a song in a new artistic way. And so one thing that I find important is to both stay true to the soul of the song to some degree, while also finding a way to make it live in your genre, in the genre that you want your music to be in. And for me as a DJ and music artist, I wanted to create something that would be a little more spunky on the dance floor while living in the essence of what Hollings had created. And so I started with her line that goes bambole. And I said, okay, what can we create around this? And then I went and listened to all her stems that she sent me of the original song. And I got rid of them one by one. I said, I don't want live drums. I'm going to do electronic program drums for the dance floor. The guitar also, we're going to let go of that. And I'm going to replace it with some synths and things. But the one thing that also stuck out to me from the original sound was the bass line, which I then played with to pitch up to create kind of a new sound. So let's just zoom in here for a moment. Before you hear the remix, I'm going to solo what I did with the original bass line from her song. So this is the original bass line pitched up. So I pitched it up to make it sound different. So I just went in to the editing window and I pitched it up 12 to be up an octave. And then I doubled it and I panned it left and right so that it would surround sound. And then I also added a cool echo effect to also create, a different, a little bit more trippy sound. So I kept that. So let's solo that. And then let's solo what I did to her vocal in this section to also create a vibe.
Bambole, 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 bambole.
So I just took the bambole, I copied and pasted it, and I just added a little compression. Honestly, her vocals didn't need much. And so those were the two elements from the original song that I used. Everything else I replaced. I also turned it up about 10 BPM from the original so that it would be in the more organic house vibe, because that's the genre that I enjoy playing in my sets and also producing. And yeah, so from there, the way I went about it was, okay, I know it's going to be an organic house track. So I know I'm going to have a 4 on the floor kick. So that's the next thing I did, add the 4 on the floor kick to make it a organic house track. So I grabbed 2 of my favorite kick loops that I love from different sample banks. And then what I did was I looked up the song Bambolé, because this is a cover. And the original is like this Spanish kind of traditional song. So it has the flamenco guitar, and it also has these rhythms that are, I looked it up, palmas. So I went on Splice to maintain that original integrity of the cultural significance of this song. I got some palmas, which is percussion, right, from flamenco influences. So it's a hand clap percussion called palmas, which I enjoyed learning about, honestly, because again, it felt important to maintain the cultural relevance of this song. And then we have some cajon with the palmas. So together, the percussion that I added. And then I think I added one more hand percussion layer just to really get the danciness going. So that's all the percussion. And then with the kick, this becomes the new beat. Okay, so it's really, it's grooving, right? And then I went in and I added my MIDI bass line, which if you are comfortable doing, it can be a simple bass line. I used my favorite bass plugin, which is called Sublab. So it's a simple bass line, but it works well with the kick, the 4 on the floor kick. And I got the progression from the original bass line that I ended up pitching up. I think I put tuner on the original bass to see what notes it was playing, and then I based my new bass line off of that. Okay, and then, I wanted it to be like, again, kind of electronic vibey. So I added some synth layers that I found from Splice and played around with, editing and cutting up. So synthy sounds, and then some of my, other signature favorite things to do, which is add atmospheres to any track. So some chimes, ocean waves, just real life sounds in there. And then one other interesting thing that I did, I sampled her vocal. Okay, this is a little tricky to explain, but I recorded her vocal in reverse, added a bunch of reverb to it, and then flipped it back normal. So it creates this pre-verb effect. So here's that stem doing the pre-verb. It's coming. So, and then what I did was I took just that section of it, and I just looped it to create a kind of another layer of an instrument, but it's actually her voice. And then I pitched it down. I duplicated it and I pitched it down 7 cents. so that it's actually in a lower harmony. And so together, and then I panned them left and right. So this is what that all sounds like. In connection with the synth stabs. So it becomes this really atmospheric vibe. So are you ready to hear the whole thing together? Let's do it from the top. Okay, so that is a taste of what I did to create a whole new vibe. So let's just quickly go back and rehear this original.
You're riding a circle. You're surfing the breeze. Be at ease.
So totally different now, right? From this. So this just gives you one example of what can happen when you go to make a remix. So have fun making remixes. Just two things to remember. Start with the one or two layers that really stick out to you. Don't be afraid to change up the BPM a little bit, but remember to keep it in alignment to some degree with the soul of the song, as well as listening for how you can craft a whole new world with it that is in alignment with your genre and what you want to play. All right, have fun.